Yet another cool, high quality item that you've probably not seen before, because to my knowledge, they don't exist anywhere else. The bag of fire chucks that are in your kit. Now, fire chuck, you know, kind of like the word comes from a drill. When you twist the chuck, when you twist off the end and put in a new drill bit, it's called a chuck, okay? That's what that part of the drill is called. Well, imagine that you're bow drilling or you're hand drilling and you just can't find a hand drill that's long and perfectly straight, or you've used your bow drill and you've worn it down to a little nub. It's the perfect material. You fall in love with this bow drill and you don't want to get rid of it. And you've worn it down to a little nub that's about 2 inches long, but you can't use it for a bow drill. Well, what you do is you pull out the fire chuck. You go get any green or seasoned piece of wood that's long and straight. This is for your spindle, whether it's your hand drill or your for your bow drill. You go get any piece of wood. The fire chuck is square. It's a square piece of aluminum. It's got a stopper pin right there in the middle. You carve the end of your spindle or your hand drill square so that it fits in, and you take that little nub of awesome material and you carve the end of it square. We've got some of those pieces of cedar already carved for you in your kit here so that you have an idea how to shape them. You put that in your fire chuck, and now, like a drill, you can change out the bits in your friction fire kits, which is very cool. We're gonna do that with this yucca, this awesome piece of yucca. Yeah, imagine doing a hand drill out of this, or anything. Impossible, right? So much of the stuff you find in the wild is just like, you know, you can't make hand drills out of it because it's too darn crooked. But I can find a 2-inch piece or a 3-inch piece in this yucca and feed it into my fire chuck and use it as a hand drill. And we're gonna do that here in a minute. Alrighty, so let's put together a hand drill using our fire chucks. Alrighty. Sit here on the wet ground. Here it is, wet outside again. Okay. So I've gone ahead and I've cut a variety of just green sticks that look pretty straight and that look about the size of my smaller fire chuck. I think this one's going to be the better one. For those of you who have a whiskey knife without the Voyager sheath, today I'm using the paracord shoulder harness rig that comes with that. Now, here, I'm going to turn around so you can see this. Check out that. See how I've got it through the harness itself, through the paracord, and then around a belt loop. That kind of holds it in place exactly where I want it. It's totally adjustable. So when I'm wearing bulky clothing, so I don't have to constantly reach underneath my jacket or shirt to pull a knife off my belt, it's really convenient to have it right here on the chest rig. And I think these are like 14 bucks. So if you live in cold weather environments and you wear a lot of coats, this might be a good way to carry your knife. I've always been a fan of the chest rig setups. I'm using the Whiskey Camp today. So I'm going to trim this down. It's going to take a couple of minutes. Just trimming off all the branches here. Well, let's see. I might end up using this other. We'll see. We'll see how this works. We might end up using another one. I don't know. All right. So here we go. I'm just trimming all the little knots off. It's going to be my hand drill shaft. It's pretty straight. I normally like them a little longer. I may switch to one of these. We'll see. And see, this is totally green. I could never get a hand drill with this long, straight spindle right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the smaller of my two aluminum fire chucks. And for hand drills, I always like the skinnier part of the hand drill to be on the bottom. Seem to get more rotations that way. There's probably a physics reason behind that, but because it's smaller. Just trimming off the bottom here. And now I'm just going to kind of shave this into a little bit of a square shape. so that I can cram it onto my chuck there. And actually I'm gonna have to go up a little bit. It's a little loose, so I'm gonna go up a little higher with it. Boy, that single edge bevel on this camp, man, is ridiculous. Watch your fingers, that's for sure. There we go. That's a really tight fit. It's all the way down to that pin. And now I'm gonna find me about a little 2-inch section on the straightest part here. Oh boy, and there isn't hardly even a straight part on this one. I think I can get something off of here that might work. Maybe right there. This is a piece of yucca, great for hand drill or bow drill. It's a little 2-inch piece. My kit's been sitting out in the rain, so I don't know if I'll be successful at hand drill today, but I'll at least generate some smoke for you. We'll see, we'll try for one. I'd like for you to see one, see me at least utilize this chuck so you get an idea how it's used. It always rains on fire day. No fail. Kind of flattening off the end. And now it looks pretty straight. I'm going to give myself a little bit of some angles here. Want a nice tight fit into our chuck. You guys ever seen a fire chuck before? I didn't think so. I've made natural versions of them before. But what a cool addition to your fire kit, you know, when you go out and practice practice your friction fires and things like that. What a cool addition to your fire kit. A couple of really lightweight fire chucks. Just kind of carving it down a little bit. See, I don't have to reach underneath my jacket to get my knife. It's just right here. Super convenient. There we go. Now that's a nice fit. Okay. All right. So here we go. I've made a hand drill spindle out of literally a 2-inch, 2.5-inch piece of yucca cut from the most crooked piece of yucca I've ever seen in my life. Okay. So I've got a little hearth board already made. We're gonna see everything's wet, but we'll give it a shot here. At least get it smoking so you can see it functioning. All right. Gonna get a little more grip. My gloves are a little wet this morning, which is gonna give me some grip on there. All right. Wow. I had to work for that one. I mean, for sure. About wore me out. All right. There's our little ember. It's a tiny little sucker. We're going to take some of our magic punky dust, grow it up to be a big boy. Man, I had to work for that one. There we go. That's just ground up punky wood. That was in Nomad Box, October 2015. The October 2016, yeah. The punky wood, Allen's Magic Punky Dust. We'll take our wet tinder bundle. Just shredded wood with a little jute core. Dump our ender in there. Put all that punky wood on there. There we go, finally. There we go. So there's the beauty of the fire chuck. You got a straight green piece in one end and a nice little 2 or 3 inch tip in the other, and you can do friction fire about anywhere, whether it's hand drill or bow drill. We've got both chucks in the bag. So I'd love to see videos of this. Love to see how you made your own spindles and how well it works for you. So there you have it, friction fire chucks, hand drill and bow drill size, 2017 February APOCABOX. Remember, it's not if, but when.